even for special events. Choice steaks, seafood, pasta. How about the surf and turf? Any entree, buy one, get one free. Desserts, my favorite part, is buy one, get one free. Celebrate a birthday, an anniversary, a retirement, or just a quiet free dinner with your sweetie. Have your company employee appreciation dinner at the Fox and Hounds. Half your dinners are free, and it's a gorgeous setting right in the heart of the Kettle Moraine near Holy Hill. Spectacular views. Gift cards are also the perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free. Order online and your gift cards will arrive shortly. I've done this many times. Reserve your wedding shower, rehearsal, or family dinner today. Half your dinners are free every night at the Fox and Hounds. Google, call, and reserve.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources. Help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need. They help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers swept their doubleheader against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Milwaukee took the first game 4-3, the second 10-2. Milwaukee's won 4 straight and will continue its 5-game series tonight. The NBA Summer League in Las Vegas tips off tomorrow. Bucks get things going on Friday when they face the Miami Heat. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I-94 East, couple of miles beyond the ramp from Barker Road. There was debris in all the lanes. They were closed for a while, but that has been cleared. Watch out for a disabled vehicle off on the right shoulder. I-43 South at the ramp from 8th Street. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny, hot, and humid today. A chance for afternoon and evening storms, mainly to the north. High today, 88. That chance for showers and storms continues overnight with a low of 70. Scattered showers and storms tomorrow. It's going to be cloudy but muggy. A high of 82. Mostly sunny Friday and Saturday. Friday's high 80, Saturday 82. Then Sunday, warm and humid, mostly sunny, high of 85. Right now in Madison, 80 degrees. Green Bay, 78. Milwaukee, 83. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bry.
And good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. And as we speak, he's probably in the air, I would imagine, Vice President J.D. Vance, heading to Mitchell Field, very close to us, the 128th Refueling Wing at the airport there. And it is another visit. He was here 4 months ago in Plover, which an area you know very well because it's very close to Wisconsin Rapids. Couple things. And he's going to talk about fraud, which we're going to get to in a second. But to me, given he's coming to a battleground state, I think we both agree that's what this is, Wisconsin.
I don't think that's up for debate.
Yeah, but I think he's setting the stage for a 2028 presidential run, if his boss lets him.
I mean, that's
if he doesn't get in the way.
That's also conventional wisdom, isn't it?
I guess. I mean, still.
I mean, I think the bigger question mark is who else. But I think
want me to name names? Rubio. Yeah. Ron DeSantis.
But Rubio said he's not sure.
Oh, come on. Why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
It's up for grabs.
Who gets Trump's endorsement?
That's the big question, right? And is that a stamp of approval? J.D. Vance coming to Wisconsin. He's obviously going to talk about fraud. It's an interesting question because as somebody who openly criticized, sorry for that microphone noise, openly criticized the Doge efforts as not doing it the way it should have been done. Fraud is always a good thing to go after at all levels, all parts of society, public, private. Fraud is bad, should be prosecuted, and you should serve time if you are convicted, if that's what the penalty should be. It's interesting that we spend a lot of time talking about fraud when it comes to public programs. I think that's what he's going to talk about today.
Well, and that's obviously, I think Mary Spicuzza has been doing a great job for years now
no surprise there.
Of doing reporting on fraud of public programs, whether it's obviously in Minnesota, it was through different early childhood education. Here, it's been stuff for Medicaid. So of these different false claims for public programs, there has been an increased attention on fraud schemes, right? And I'm not arguing that we should not go after those things. We absolutely should. But it's also interesting that in the same vein, this is also an administration that has pardoned the most amount of people for fraud, right? On my last list, there's like 22, I think. Over half of the 88 individual pardons have been white collar for bank fraud, wire fraud, and money laundering. Those pardons owed north of $298 million in fines and restitution combined. And in many cases, Trump wiped out the restitution too.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how can you hold both truths as far as, is it just because of the public money? But isn't tax evasion basically just the inverse of the same thing?
Yeah, evading taxes criminally is just as bad. Yes, I think it's the public thing is so much in our frame of reference because it's all anybody talks about, right? And it's sort of this overt persecution of people who are poor, right? So there are a tremendous number of programs that we are supposedly set up to help people that need assistance, which I think all of us are in favor of, right? We need programs to help people. Give them a helping hand. Shouldn't be, something that they utilize for 50 years, but certainly help them up. And if you're talking about people of faith, basically built into your tenets of your faith. This preoccupation with one side versus the other side is frustrating. So if you're a corporate tax evader, a corporate criminal, you have the access to better lawyers, more money, you can get off, you don't serve jail time, but now we want to go after the people who are supposedly running programs that are helping poor people. And we want to put them away.
And they probably will be put away.
Yeah, because they don't have good lawyers and they don't have money to fight these things. So it's a duality. It's a system that makes no sense. Fraud is bad. Whoever does it at any level, corporate, public, private, however you want to define it, it's all bad. But here's another thing. If I was coming to the state of Wisconsin, and I do think, and I know you want to talk about fraud, but I think this is...
No, we can go wherever you want.
I think this is a candidate for president. If I'm coming to Wisconsin, J.D. Vance, and I hope you're listening, or someone who works for you, if you pay attention to the media of the city you're coming to, how are you not talking about affordability in the state of Wisconsin or the country? And I know that your president, your boss, our president, doesn't necessarily like the term. He's used it a few times. This is a startling number. Recent polling, Harris poll, 95% of Americans believe the U.S. is suffering an affordability crisis. When's the last time you heard 95% on a poll?
That's wild.
That is, I almost swore, wild. That is wild. That's insane. If I'm coming to Milwaukee and I'm coming to Wisconsin, a battleground state, I'm going to mention affordability, but I bet you he doesn't mention it. Because he's coming here to go after fraud, which is what this administration, his president, our president, wants him to talk about. So a couple things. From a Republican perspective, you can attack my pedigree if you want to. I don't really give a crap. I want Republican candidates who speak the truth, who identify what the core issues are in any community in which they're speaking or any state they're visiting, and give us solutions and not complain about stuff endlessly with no resolution. Yes, fraud's bad. Yes, we should go after it. Seems like we are. Even in Minnesota, which was the big hoopla over all that stuff, Somali fraud, daycare.
But they were already going after it even before the viral video.
In the previous administration, the Biden administration. If you want me to prove it, I'll send you the links. It sounds good. It's not real. If I'm coming to Wisconsin, I'm going to be pissed off about the fact that people can't pay for gas and groceries. Their healthcare costs are rising. Insurance costs are rising. Their home prices are rising.
Rent is rising.
Utility costs skyrocketing. As much as I care about fraud, and I do care about it, this is what people want to hear. And this is the part that the disconnect I don't get from a Republican perspective. There's a midterm election coming up. I want Republicans to win. But if you don't have a message that people are going to... They're not going to listen to the fraud thing. They want to hear about affordability.
Well, some people will. I think some people, because there isn't it triggers something, right?
He's going to get the 30%.
There is something that gets triggered when you feel like you're not getting what you owed or someone is cheating the system. But that goes back to my thing with like, who do you get angrier at when, this idea that these people can be pardoned when it's numbers that are it's private money or whatever, but like it's like we don't hold the same standard for all types of fraud. But I agree as far as the focus of what should be talked about, especially because we'll go to break in a second. But I did my first shift at Kinship last night,
right?
And like it was wild.
Tell people who it is so they know.
Kinship is it used to be River West Food Pantry. Now it is a bigger program. That part of the program is still a food pantry, and it's around the corner from where I live. And so I finally had been wanting to start volunteering there, and I went last night for the first time. Shout out to Mike, who listens to the show, who's 3 years running volunteer there.
Cool.
And it was my first time doing anything like that, and it is an interesting experience to see all of the walks of life who walk through that door needing help to get groceries.
Yeah. I hear from some of these people. I got a long email yesterday from somebody who was talking about this. There's 2 things he should mention. He probably won't. Affordability and the war in Iran, which is highly unpopular.
Still going.
And still going. We're going to get to that next. And, art of the deal, question mark? How's that working out? Weren't we in a memorandum of understanding? Wasn't that supposed to settle this all down? Recent comments from the president might indicate otherwise. J.D. Vance, if you're listening or your people are listening, affordability and the unpopular war in Iran, what are you going to do about it? You're a candidate for president, I guess, in a couple of years. Quick break.
Son, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And eat pizza.
Preferably a Marty's Pizza, right?
Well, yeah, we do everything we can to keep the prices low. We're a family-run business, and many of our employees have families. I want to make sure that as tight as it gets, a growing family can always afford to enjoy a Marty's Pizza.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Every homeowner has a list. That roof, those windows, that bathroom you've been meaning to update. If you've been putting off home improvements, you're not alone. At Exterior Pros and Baths, they help homeowners upgrade their homes with beautiful roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and bathrooms built to last. Right now, save up to $3,000 on your next project. Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, we're talking to Pat Guyette, Hunt Stock, Wisconsin. Great event coming up July 17th to the 19th. Dodge County Fairgrounds at Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Legendary hunters. Great outdoors events.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Reality, but according to the president, the Iran ceasefire is over, and he says talks are a, direct quote, waste of time. Your thoughts?
He changes his mind a lot.
He does.
So
he does change his mind a lot.
But if he's done, so let's play. He's like, because what it was, they're scum. I don't want to deal with them anymore. He's over it. But that's not an end to the war, right? Like there ultimately has to be other options as far as you started it. What is it going to take to finish it? Does it take conceding? Does it take what Bill's been calling for, which is just going in and like bombing them?
We're doing that right now.
I know there's like tit for tat firing right now, and so
I get that. I put this in the notes. There's noble intentions here. We don't want them to be a nuclear superpower, right? We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. But there was no strategy to verify that fact. There's no exit plan at all, that as far as I can tell. Iran's a powerful country. It's a big, large country in the Middle East. Lots of people. Hard to find things. If the goal was eliminating the threat of a nuclear weapon, you better get that done. And they have not gotten that done. And I'm not sure what changes other than they're going to keep bombing them. But here's the thing. Tens of $billions in cost to the U.S. government to fight this war. Thousands of dead Iranians. Some people don't care about them. I care about any human life. Higher oil prices, inflation. I'm not equalizing these things. Inflation pressure. Middle East that's up for grabs in many cases because who's assuming that this current leadership is going to be better than the last leadership? And they just escorted the body through the city recently. And again, if you're going to say we have a peace deal, at least a memorandum of understanding, like in June, which last time I checked is like last month, 60 days, it lasted like 2 weeks. So why would we? He was trotting around strutting the fact that he got this deal done, and here we are. He said it's over. He doesn't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. It's the difference between having a fleshed out, detailed, organized plan and just wanting something with no way to get there. You know, for example, I'm going to build a skyscraper with no idea how to build anything, no idea of how to get the materials, no knowledge about structural integrity or what's safe and not, city codes, state codes, federal codes. But I'm going to build a skyscraper. That's what this feels like to me. It's shallow, it's superficial, which how many times have I said that about this administration? Again, noble intentions. I don't want Iran to be a nuclear superpower. There aren't that many of them.
So at this point, is that the main thing we can gain? At what point does, or what would have to happen for this to have all been worth it?
Verifiable destruction of their ability to carry out a nuclear war. The facilities are gone. The enriched uranium is gone, verified by whatever group, UN, whoever it is.
How much stronger would it have to be than what was under the Obama deal? Or how different would it have to be?
I think Obama tried to get there. I don't know if they ever accomplished that fact because the storyline is that they've since that era of the Obama administration, they still continued to do some things. At least that's what this administration is charging. Again, without verification, it's up for grabs. I think this is such a classic example. And the stunning thing is, for all the Trump supporters out there, this is a president who said he didn't like wars.
No new wars.
He also said he'd end the Ukraine-Russia war in one day, first day on the job. First thing I'm going to do.
Russia coming back to the Olympics.
Yeah, how about that? Yay. Right? And I'm a guy who believes in getting things done. And if his getting things done, he being the president, is that we are going to have a future Iran with better leadership and not a nuclear weapon, I don't think we're any closer, but we spent billions of dollars, lost 13 American lives, by the way. With countless,
is that still the...
That's the last number I saw. And hundreds of injuries. That's real. And we have a lot of... last number I saw was 50,000 troops in the area. Whether it's Makashin's send the troops in, you want to fight that kind? You want to fight a ground war in Iran? How'd that work out in Afghanistan? Not so well. The exit strategy there sucked as well under a different administration. I'm not a fan of this stuff. You can think these things, but unless you have a clearly detailed, organized, researched plan and exit strategy, you're just wasting our time. You're wasting lives and you're wasting money.
But we're already here.
We're here. We got to figure it out now. But I have no confidence that Hegseth or Vance or Trump or Stephen Miller or Susie Wiles, for God's sake, have any idea how to stop this.
You said you're halfway through Regime Change?
It's an interesting book.
Yeah.
The first quarter is learning why the people that worked with the president are there. The Susie Wiles story. And a lot of these people have been around in his sphere of influence for a long time. I watched the interview with Anthony Scaramucci, who I didn't have a lot of respect for. The dude's smart.
He's really smart. He fills in on Pivot every once in a while with Kara Swisher when Scott Galloway's out. And I was I had no idea he was as bright as he is.
Yeah, he's also in love with himself. But that's, egos are
anyone who gives themselves the nickname the Mooch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was raising money for Republicans and Trump for a long time before ever got in the White House. And he was actually, the story's pretty interesting, and I'm not going to tell it now, it's too long. But because Trump liked him, likes guys that raise money, he got his escort in the White House.
10 awesome days he was in there until he was not.
The cool thing about Scaramucci, I'm not an advocate for him, but he understands how big of a mistake that was for him and potentially the country. That's the takeaway I got.
Did he sit for an interview for the book?
Scaramucci?
Yeah.
Not the part that I've read so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting question, though. All right, we'll take a break here. Lots more to talk about on Point Taken. She's Kristen. I'm Steve on 620 WTMJ.
They pretty much weren't doing anything. I couldn't ride a bicycle. You don't have your life because you don't have your mobility.
So when Patrick heard about QC Kinetics and their non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain, no waiting, he called them immediately.
There's no downtime. There's no rehab. That was the tipping point for me. I didn't have to take any drugs. I didn't have to rehab.
Before considering surgery, check out QC Kinetics' all-natural treatment options that restore and repair damaged joint tissue in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
If you have knee replacement surgery, and then the knee is not yours, and there's no guarantee that that's going to be successful.
QC Kinetics. Patients around the country are raving about the results. They're getting back their mobility, taking back their lives with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. My motorized retractable awning is already saving me from that hot summer sun. I love that I can enjoy my patio year-round thanks to Comfort Awnings. I just retract it when I want the sun and extend it when I need the shade. Comfort Awnings even come equipped with sensors that detect rain and strong winds. This year, reclaim your outdoor space for your friends and family to enjoy every season Wisconsin has to offer. Right now, get $250 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Don't miss the most anticipated vacation event of the summer. It's Fox World Travel's exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations and new this year, Royal Caribbean. July is the best time of the year to lock in your perfect dates and rates before they fill up. Get the hottest cruise deals or plan ahead for 2027 all-inclusives with nonstop flights. Secure your dream reservation with just a deposit. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July and get on the exclusive list. Sale starts soon.
Come celebrate Wisconsin's team and Wisconsin's radio station at 620 WTMJ Day, Saturday, August 29th, as the Milwaukee Brewers take on the Texas Rangers. Come hang out with your favorite WTMJ hosts and enjoy food and drinks catered by Lift's Lucky Town. Want the details? Text keyword WTMJ to get the link or visit WTMJ.com. WTMJ Day, Saturday, August 29th, presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's Market. We'll see you at the tailgate.
We're going to shift gears after the on the hour news for the kids 10:30. I'm intrigued. I want to kind of know where people stand on this because I've said for a while that the consumption, and you've said this too, consumption of news is different. People go different places. They find sources that sort of they agree with, or they agree with what the people are saying on those nets or those platforms. But the FCC has had a very aggressive tone under the chairman, Brendan Carr. He's sort of been the right-hand man of Donald Trump in some ways when it comes to media.
Is he still wearing the gold pin, the gold-headed pin of Donald Trump's bust?
I don't know.
He was wearing that for a
I
little
thought you
while.
say butt.
Bust.
Because that would be more funny.
It would be
funnier.
It would be
Why do you
funnier.
have Donald Trump's butt
on
pin?
there?
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? Anyway, so I want to kind of look and I'm going to take you by the hand on this one because this is like one of my topics. We're touching hands. I'm fed up with the way people are consuming media, and I think we can't just blame media. Start looking at yourselves.
You're telling homework? Take responsibility?
Yeah, because just because you like something doesn't make you smarter. Just because you agree with them doesn't necessarily make you smarter or, a better person. Sometimes a little disagreement is a good thing. So we're going to explore the world of broadcasting, how this administration, this FCC is changing the relationship and how it's impacting both radio stations, TV shows, networks, including The View.
Which is on every day.
Yeah, we're
on our
staring
little
at the ladies.
four squad.
Whoopi and
very popular show.
Joy and
Matt Smith gave us inside knowledge that the phones ring off the hook when The View gets interrupted at our local WISN.
And my question would be, why? All right, local news update. Now the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump at the NATO summit in Turkey saying the United States is gearing up for more strikes against Iran and that the memorandum of understanding on a ceasefire is over.
As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars.
The president warning the U.S. is preparing for more airstrikes tonight. Funeral processions have begun for Iran's late supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, in the town of Najaf. Thousands of mourners are there. The president says the U.S. will give license to Ukraine to produce Patriot missile defense systems to help counter Russian attacks. Ukraine has been asking for the right to produce those for some time. All of the uncertainty causing oil prices to jump 7%. The Dow has also tumbled 845 points. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. 2 of the 3 children killed in a Lake Geneva boating accident over the holiday weekend have been identified. Family members say 6-year-old Caleb Oswald and his sister 7-year-old Abigail Oswald from Wheaton, Illinois, died after a boat capsized and sunk during severe weather. Third child who died has not yet been publicly identified. A death investigation underway this morning on the grounds of Hamilton High School in the village of Lisbon. Authorities have released very few details but say there is no threat to the community. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office handling that investigation. Milwaukee Police Department released its second quarter crime data showing carjackings, robberies, non-fatal shootings, and homicides down about 20% compared to this time last year. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says the homicide clearance rate is 98%. Despite officer injuries over the 4th of July weekend, total crime of the holiday down 14% this year. Time now for news about your money with the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets are struggling. Dow now down 841 points. 52,084. The Nasdaq is down 278. 25,540. S&P 500 down 79. 7,423. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. A disabled vehicle on the ramp from Hampton Avenue to I-41 South and 41 South about a half mile beyond the ramp from Burleigh. Right shoulder there blocked due to a disabled vehicle. It's slow southbound on 41 between those two spots. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny, hot, and humid with a chance for afternoon and evening storms mainly to the north. High today of 88. That chance of showers and storms continues overnight with a low 70. Scattered showers and storms tomorrow. Cloudy, muggy, high of 82. Mostly sunny Friday and Saturday. Friday's high 80. Saturday up to 82. Warm and humid on Sunday, then mostly sunny with a high of 85. 82 in Madison, 80 now in Green Bay, 85 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors ranked first among all home improvement projects. To see Geis's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geisdoors.com. Geis has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geis at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geis. Visit them online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes?
Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
All right, 10:35 on this Wednesday. Kristen Bryce, these videos, point taken. We kind of know what we do here. I'm going to I'll make people mad because I hear a lot of bitching about media a lot. People, even when I go out I was at a couple golf events in the last few weeks, and yeah, the media just, they're always negative and they blah, blah, blah. But I always say to people, you're choosing the way that the platforms that you consume, and you are favoriting these voices that you seem to they agree with you. And last time I checked, some of these voices that agree with you on both sides, pretty negative, pretty anti-everything, pretty hate-filled, very aggressive, very violent in some cases. And I'd love to, at some point, share some of the emails that I get on a daily basis or texts on the text line, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talking text line 855-616-1620. They're not all nice. But regardless of that, I don't care. And
You're better at not caring than
yeah, well, it's also because I think my age.
You've been doing it longer.
Yeah, it's just like, it's time to start understanding what we're doing here. So, the environment has changed. We went from traditional journalists, mostly men, just reading from either the teleprompter or the page, right? Here's the news of the day. They didn't editorialize unless it was identified as an op-ed. They just read the news. IBM hired 5,000 employees. Good news for the economy. And they go to their economic expert, 60-second clip, back to, and in weather news, that kind of, I almost swore again. That's twice today. I almost swore. See, that's how passionate I am about this. And then the rise of talk radio. And we go back to the 80s, through the Clinton era. I mean, that was Rush Limbaugh on, Hillary's crazy husband. Right? I mean, all the antics of the White House. We all know about it. Monica Lewinsky, who, by the way, she's a good follow. She's a great follow. I have mad respect for her because all the crap she went through. But anyway, that's a side channel. So that sort of changed the landscape. People started consuming radio because they listened to angry, mostly men who they agreed with. And my words, polluted their minds. Polluted their minds because we lost the ability to discern. There was other ideas, a diversity of opinion. We want one thing. The other side's evil. They suck. This is what we should think. We're all going to group think that. And it sort of deteriorated civil debates, honest conversation, certainly impact on politics. We've seen the rise of, populists in other countries and this country. So combine that sort of historical view of where we're at. Groupthink, political cheerleading, that's really popular. And then you sort of weaponize the Federal Communications Commission, led by the current chair, Brendan Carr, who actively target providers. Quick example, San Francisco radio station KCBS.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, early on reporting.
I was like, that was...
Yeah, which is not surprising
almost
for
one of the first things back in early 2025 before you and I even had a show together.
Yeah. They got threatened by Brendan Carr. What did they do about it? They didn't continue the aggressive reporting. They demoted one anchor, began discouraging the reporters from pursuing political stories that could draw attention to the station in favor of human interest stories.
Well, no, it started because they were reporting on the local ICE and
efforts,
the location of ICE.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Then I read this story about The View, which I'm not a big fan of The View. I understand Barbara Walters created it as a news program.
Yeah.
It's sort of evolved into, it's a very popular show, as Matt Smith will attest when they try to replace it or delay it. They're now throttling back their political candidate bookings because of a threat by the FCC that we're going to, look closer at what you do there.
Well, the argument of, as a talk show, do they fall under the equal time clause?
Equal time, yes.
And, that can open up, I don't know if that's where you want to go in this conversation, is we're a talk show, what equal time is, and does it suffice if you invite everyone, but not everyone has to come, and all of these different rules, because there's a lot of other shows that are talk shows that probably are not having everyone on either.
Talk is different than news.
But are they a news show or are they a talk show?
That's the question, right? And ultimately, if they're gonna challenge it, it's gonna be fought in court. But here's the thing: it's a 1930s regulation. Simply put, requires broadcast news programs to give equal airtime to opposing candidates if they allow one candidate for public office to appear on their airwaves. That's the rule. Talk is different. I don't necessarily follow that, but I do make the effort usually. Somebody always beats me up. Why don't you have Ron Johnson? I've offered through his people many times to Ron Johnson. Used to have him on all the time. We disagree on some things and how Republicans should look at things, and I think some of his ideas on healthcare are, how do I put this, stupid?
Little tinfoil hattie?
Yeah. Now, he would argue he's representing those who are ostracized or pushed away because they have alternate viewpoints of things. I'm still a science and data guy. A micro percentage of somebody who might have some implication of something that was done health-wise that impacted them negatively. There's no guarantees on any health procedure. We all know that. We all sign that waiver. So to make that the story versus the 99.9% of people who are benefiting from health and science seems silly to me and stupid. But I'm curious, and this is the question I have for you. All of you out there in radio land, YouTube land, wherever you're consuming, do you like the new environment where it's just, you can just pick and choose? If you like left-leaning, you can go to MSNBC. I'm using the obvious examples. If you like Fox, Trump-loving Fox, you just go there because you can put the station on and hear all good things about the president, none of the bad stuff generally. Although they are starting to tweak them a little bit because they realize in 2028 it won't be President Trump anymore, or at least early 2029. How are you reconciling this as a consumer of news? Are you strictly just focusing on the stuff you like? And is that necessarily giving you a well-founded, well-rounded understanding of what's actually happening in our country, in our state, in our world? I don't think it is. And I know it makes you angry, and in some ways it's a sport to hate the other side. I would argue it's unintellectual, lazy, and is not helpful in the equation of, because I think most of us, if we, on the 4th of July, recently celebrated 4th of July, we'd say, I want a better America. Wouldn't we all sign up for that? How are we getting there with this nonsense? That's my question. 855-616-1620. I want to hear your questions after the break.
We'll come back. But yes, let us know, how are you navigating the current media environment? 855-616-1620, and we'll talk more about that after this.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. If you've listened to me for any length of time, you know I value staying active and feeling my best. That is why I trust Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Dr. Jens and his entire team are helping me with my lower back issue and headaches. My journey with them includes adjustments, dry needling, and soft wave therapy. I have an entire routine I'm now doing at home, and I feel better, I'm moving better, and can stay focused on the things that matter most. Whether you are dealing with back pain, neck pain, headaches, the team at Jens Family Chiropractic takes the time to understand what is going on and creates a specialized treatment plan just for you. Now is the time. Discover why many families, including mine, trust Jens. Learn more at jensfamilychiropractic.com. That's jensfamilychiropractic.com. Experience the difference at Jens Family Chiropractic.
The other day I received a call from a customer who had these beautiful old tables that at one time were covered with glass tops. But one day a coffee mug dropped, and just like that, those beautiful tables went right into retirement. You know how it goes. Once a glass top of a set of tables breaks, they go into the basement or the garage and do a great job at collecting dust. The customer never knew who could help, but when she asked, I readily said, "Oh, we can replace that. In fact, there are a lot of things we can do with glass. We could even sandblast a beautiful custom design into your new glass tops." This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service, and glass and mirrors have been our business for over 35 years. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this. And Summit Credit Union's got you.
Getting your home ready for summer, you cleaned the floors, but they still don't look nice. Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Carpet worn, floors scratched up, vinyl dated. Let's get my team from Hunt's to upgrade and replace. The compliments will come all summer long. Happened to my house since we got real hardwood installed at a great price from Hunt's. Hunt's Flooring works efficiently, keeps turnaround times quick, so you're not stuck in a long project. Tell them Vinny sent you. Stop out at Highway 100 in Greenfield or get started at huntsflooring.com.
Lots of text, which we love. There's a text day today on the setting. Let me go to TMJ Talking Text line 855-616-1620. Real quick before I let Kristen jump in here. The president lost recently a battle over things that people are saying about him in the press, and one of those was the Washington Post. He had sued his social media company, Trump Media and Technology Group, Truth Social, all that stuff. $3.8 billion. Picked a big number as far as the defamation lawsuit, but a federal judge rules in favor of the Washington Post.
I feel like some of the defamation lawsuits, it's just like throwing a dart at a dartboard of like, this is how much we're going to ask for. Because what was Kash Patel's against the Atlantic for when they reported on how much he's drinking? Yeah. It was like $2 billion.
Yeah, just make
how
up
did
numbers.
you come up with this number?
I don't know. You can say whatever you want.
That story kind of just went away too.
Yeah. He's been quiet.
The head of our FBI is an alcoholic, and we talked about it for 2 days, and
maybe
not concerned about it anymore.
Maybe the defense secretary as well.
So I want to talk about this. Of one of the, where did it go? I lost it. Basically, someone had texted in saying, I listen to all types of media. I can't trust any of them.
Well, that's bad.
And it's hard because I want to know why you don't trust them. So if you were someone, whether you're the texter who texted that in or someone who also feels like I have a cynical view for all media, because it comes back to when we talk about trusting institutions. Because as someone who works with journalists, I know at least, I know how committed these people are to the truth. Do they screw up sometimes? Are they on deadline? So can they talk to everybody? Is there a human limitation on ever getting the true full story because of the fact that ultimately you have to go off, you write the story based off what you saw, who you talked to, and this is just the facts of what they are. And there's always going to be not editorializing in the writing, but editorializing in what stories even get covered. When your editor says, go cover this versus this, that is a decision of what is bigger, better, more important news. And so when you say you don't trust the news, what does that mean? Do you think that they are actively lying to you? Do you think that they're not telling you the full story? Do you think that it's if you don't trust any of them, that they're all just trying to manipulate and propagandize you? What do you mean when you say you don't trust any media?
To me, it's the last part, manipulate and propagandize. On both sides. There's networks established to do certain things about the left and the right. And I pointed out a couple examples earlier. I think people are just so comfortable now only listening to things that they agree with versus just listening to the news. Now, Texture made an interesting point. We have the big news, local news, 4-6-12-58. Local news.
Mm-hmm.
They trust them more than they do the national networks. And I think local news, especially in this market, does a pretty good job.
Absolutely. But the thing is with that is then you think about news deserts, right? So my parents in Wisconsin Rapids, their local news is out of Wausau.
Right.
And so that
nowhere close to Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, I mean close-ish, but like so they're covering how much of an area is that those news stations trying to cover how many different stories for how many different communities are leaning on them as their local news.
How ironic it is that me, someone who works in the media locally here in Milwaukee and Wisconsin and talks about this stuff, my biggest news network now is the BBC. I actually subscribe to it.
It's because you're British.
I was born there. But I trust their journalism more than I do our journalists. I even listen to Piers Morgan, who's got great guests, but in many ways he's a whack job, but he has great guests. I like the way they're approaching it. They're trying to flesh out the full spectrum of a story from left to right. Every perspective is put in long form pieces that they call journalism. We're not getting that. We're getting a lot of shouting, a lot of, pigeonholing of a story where that's not really the whole story. I want to know the whole story.
But do you think that, like, when you watch, if you watch the nightly news with like John Muir?
Not anymore, no.
Is it because you don't trust what ABC is doing?
I just didn't find that interesting. I used to watch all of them.
Okay.
This is my routine 7-8 years ago. I rewatched sampled all of the major network news at 5:30. Then I watched the major networks, Fox and MSNBC and CNN at night, sampling their programs. That's all I did at night. But at some point, it didn't make me smarter, and it was just consuming so much time.
Well, and it's interesting because the local news, and I say this as I have deep appreciation for what the local news does, but I also do think that like the criticism there is there's an over-reporting on crime, right? Like,
yes.
And because it bleeds, it leads. And so there is, and I think that goes back to what an editorial decision of what do we think our audience wants? And you know that because you have the data is what people are clicking on when you post it on your website or on Facebook. And so whether the policy debate that's happening in Madison, which is going to impact you more than this crime story that happened, but what is more, quote unquote, interesting and going to get more attention is the latter.
I'm glad you brought that up. I've been very critical of radio and TV in this market and elsewhere using that strategy. Do I care there's a car chase somewhere?
If it's going to affect your drive, maybe. If there's an accident that comes from
it's
it.
It's not about me.
But do I need to hear about the infant that was like drowned in a bathtub?
No. And should that lead the news?
Yeah.
And for too many stations here and elsewhere, it's just a blotter. Boom, this happened. Boom, this happened. Boom, this happened. Oh, then other news. Why did you lead with that stuff? Is it sexy?
Or is it low-hanging fruit? Because it's coming across the news
Ring
page.
the bell. That's it.
And
it's
you're like, we can just report on this if we have to. Like, it's like we got to keep moving.
Oh, let me read that police report. Let me read from that police report.
And don't get me wrong. The pressure of putting on a daily show
is
hard. And so this is not a criticism versus because you also, if you have slimmer newsrooms that can't go out and do reporting on bigger issues and also turn those stories into visually interesting, for TV at least, visually interesting stories, which takes editing and work. Like sometimes some of those things are just easier to turn around.
My suggestion for news producers, and you don't have to listen to me, and I know you're not going to, start thinking about doing news in a different way. Stop leading with the police blotter stuff. It sort of demonizes communities. It makes communities seem more dangerous, more violent, less safe. It's not helping. And as much as you talk about neighborhoods and, we love our hometown, you're not starting your news programs that way. And I don't think that's a good thing. Quick break.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club. where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
When your business is growing, you may think you need a big bank with tall buildings and more people. But bigger doesn't always mean better, not when you're waiting on answers or trying to move quickly on an opportunity. I'm James Showalter, President and CEO of Port Washington State Bank. Here you get the tools, the experience, and the kind of service that keeps things moving, no matter how big your business gets. Because when it matters, you don't need bigger, you just need better. Port Washington State Bank. We get you here.
Number FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Mark, can you hear me?
Not just good, they're accurate.
Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management, a fee-only fiduciary.
Fee-only fiduciary really further separates the folks that either say fiduciary,
Mark, can you hear me?
or best interests altogether. And it's not just that alone. It is, of course, everything else that we can bring to the table that just isn't asset management. It is estate planning, tax planning, financial planning, all of it wrapped together in one transparent fee.
Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management? Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Want to watch all your favorite
Mark, can you hear me?
shows? Check out the WTMJ YouTube channel. Live streams of all your favorite WTMJ shows, from Wisconsin's morning news to what's on tap. See breaking news as it happens. Get involved with the action in the chat on Brewers Extra Innings, or see all the cool tools on the Fix-It Show. Missed your favorite show? We've got past live streams and interview highlights too. Subscribe to 620 WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All I'm asking is people to be smarter, better consumers. Listen better, be smarter. I know it's a big ask, and I know you don't want to change your habits, but we fall into these patterns of viewing and watching, and I like to mix it up. I read different books about different subjects. I watch different programs. I go through these right now I'm on a podcast phase, so I watch people doing podcasts from around the world. I don't know these guests in many places. I don't even know the interview, but I learn how people ask questions. I learn about things I didn't know before. That's the challenge for me as a consumer. It's not even necessarily news. It could be trends. It could be cultural topics. That is my thing, man. And the worst thing you could say to me is, I just like this. I don't want to change.
Check 1, 2. Mark, can you hear me?
I don't want to go there. Why would I go there? I don't know. Maybe you'll meet somebody nice. Maybe you'll see something you never saw before. That should be a good motivator. This, again, I'll offend all the Friday night fish fry old-fashioned drinkers. Tell you what, go out for a steak and have a beer instead,
Okay, is that your button for this hour?
God, mix it up a little bit. Change it up. My God.
When we come back, we're going to be talking to Mark Summerhouse.
Hey, Mark, can you hear me?
One of the researchers and communications director over at Wisconsin Policy Forum, because we're going to look at how Wisconsin's doing on 31 different topics. So stay with us. News is next.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. And joining me today is Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, a lot of talk about artificial intelligence in every industry recently. You had an interesting take on what's going on in the insurance business.
Thank you, Vince. Great to be here. AI usage is certainly hot in our industry right now. Recently, it caused broker stocks to decline more than 10%, and many predictions were being made.
Yeah, what are you paying close attention to?
The actions of certain players in the marketplace are very interesting. One big broker has gone so far as to say they're a tech platform that includes insurance. Leaders in our industry are also raising several important questions that I believe are important to your audience.
You have a few examples to share on that?
Bad data will result in poor decisions. Your model, your broker's model, or any model. Beware. When a business or an individual relies on AI and modeling to design and or make an insurance buying decision for you, who are you going to hold accountable when a critical form gets omitted or not placed on your policy, a claim gets denied, and you have questions? AI will transform many industries, but how it's applied and how it's utilized is still in the early stage.
Check 1, 2. Mark, can you hear me?
Work with R&R Insurance.
We're fiercely independent, technology forward, and a top 100 insurance agency. R&R Insurance represents 50 years with the same name on the door. Lastly, are you truly comfortable making a complex insurance decision on your own? If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. To find out more, go to myknowledgebroker.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Another fantastic trip. Join WTMJ listeners October of 2027, exploring 2 magnificent countries, Croatia and Slovenia. A custom itinerary for TMJ listeners you don't want to miss out. Fairy tale cities, picture-perfect islands, the lovely Adriatic coast, cobblestone streets, crystal waters, Croatia's dazzling coast. It's a 7-night cruise on a chartered small ship and the greatest hotel accommodations when we're on land. It's incredible. Savor authentic cuisine and discover the history of these 2 countries in one unforgettable journey. Let me send you more information. Space is extremely limited. Need you to sign up right away if you're interested. John at WTMJ.com. You email me, I send you all the information, you sign up. John at WTMJ.com. This is incredible. Let me get you the info. John at WTMJ.com. Croatia, October 2027.
They call it baseball heaven.
Here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
Well, the crew is coming to test the faithful.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 103.5 on the radar gun. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Fastball at 104.0.
The Brewers land in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:10. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
11:02. We
Check.
Sunny, hot, and humid. A chance for storms this evening, mostly to the north. High today, 88. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. A federal judge will decide today whether former Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan should go to prison. Dugan, convicted of felony obstruction for helping an undocumented immigrant avoid federal agents at the courthouse last year. She faces a maximum sentence of 5 years, though her attorneys are asking for time served, and they plan to appeal. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reporter John Dietrich tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
The prosecution's not saying they're not recommending a specific amount of time, but they're saying a significant amount.
Check.
And sentence is warranted. The defense is saying, hey, time served. She spent part of one day in custody, and that should be sufficient.
Dugan expected to address the court for the first time since her arrest. Sentencing starts at 11:15 this morning. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson invites Vice President J.D. Vance to meet with local elections officials during his visit to the city today.
In a letter to the vice president, Johnson defended the integrity of Milwaukee's elections and criticized the FBI's investigation into the city's 2020 absentee ballots, saying there's no evidence of wrongdoing. Johnson is urging the Trump administration to end the investigation. Vance is scheduled to visit the Wisconsin Air National Guard's 128th Refueling Wing this afternoon as part of the administration.
Check. Mark, can you hear me?
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
President Trump says the U.S. will likely attack Iran again tonight. It's after the U.S. and Iran traded strikes last night, and as Trump said, he believes the ceasefire is over. Speaking alongside Ukrainian President
Check. Can you hear me, Mark?
Trump said the Middle Eastern nation was behaving very badly.
Laying eggs on a plant which they can't survive on.